Hello there and a very good Wednesday afternoon to you. Welcome along, friends. Yes, we're back. Missing in action yesterday, but it's good to be back with you live for the Irish Daily Crack here on Global Irish Radio. My name is Sean G and it is August the 6th, 2025. Welcome along. With you for the hour and lots to talk about, lots to catch up on. A significant day in history, Hiroshima Day or Hiroshima Day, depending on your pronunciation. Today marks the 80th anniversary of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima. Should we go with Hiroshima or Hiroshima? In 1945, a day that has gone down in infamy, obviously. And and Margaret was asking me all about that earlier on because she was just a youngster. She was too young at the time. She was probably in school, so it wasn't in the history books. But we gave her a small history lesson earlier today. After President Roosevelt died on April the 12th in 1945, it became Harry Truman's job to decide how to end the war. And the thought of invading Japan, well, it gave Truman and his advisors food for thought, shall we put it that way, because the Japanese were they were a tough bunch on the battlefield, and they were hard to fight, and the emperor had them convinced that it was better to die than to surrender. And you had women and you had children who had been taught how to kill with the most basic of weapons. And then, of course, the Japanese kamikaze pilots, they could turn planes into guided missiles. So the cost of invasion, they knew it would be high, and they knew the death toll. Oopsie daisies. That one's going off by itself. But anyway, the Americans and Truman knew that the cost would be high and the death toll probably very high as well, and already had endured, or there had been a lot of significant loss of life already. Let's put it that way. So anyway, Truman became aware of what was known as the Manhattan Project, which was basically the nuclear bomb. And they sent out a warning to the Japanese, giving them, I think it was 11 days or something like that, to surrender. Well, the 11 days or whatever it was passed and no response. So on this day, way back in 1945, having received no reply, the American bomber called Enola Gay left en route to Japan. And in the belly of that bomber was Little Boy. Little Boy was no little boy in real terms, though. An atomic bomb, and at 8:15 a.m. and at Hiroshima time, Little Boy was dropped, and the result was approximately 80,000 deaths in just a few minutes. 80,000 people died in an instant, let's put it that way, and thousands died from radiation sickness. And then on August the 9th, 1945, another bomber was en route to Japan, only this time they were heading to Nagasaki with not you, Fergus, but Fat Man. That's what they call the other atomic bomb. And after the first minute of dropping Fat Man, 39,000 men, women and children were killed. 25,000 more were injured. Both cities were leveled from the bombs, and this in turn forced Japan to surrender to the United States. The war was finally over. So that's your history lesson this Wednesday, August the 6th. As we say, a significant day in history. The only times that atomic bombs were used in our history. And Margaret was asking what president had decided to do it. It was President Harry Truman. So there you go. And speaking of presidents and bombs and that, but there must be another Epstein story, because Donald Trump wants to fast track plans to build a nuclear reactor on the moon by 2030, so folk can live there, don't you understand? Despite all the safety warnings and all the rest that goes with it, he wants to fast track this building of the nuclear reactor, as we say, so people can live there. Mostly Democrats and people like Rosie O'Donnell and people who disagree with him. But anyway, the US president is determined to win the second space race and to build a permanent base for humans on the moon. So that's the latest on that. Again, we don't know if it's a real story, if it's fake news, or if it's just an attempt to flood the zone. There might be some news coming out about Epstein and all the rest of it. And speaking of space and lunar things and the moon and all of that stuff, the Earth spun. The Earth spun a little faster than normal yesterday. Did you notice? Yeah, yesterday it would have been one of the shortest day in recorded history, because there was this rare occurrence where the Earth increased its spinning activity by about 1.25 milliseconds. Now, you might not think that's a whole lot, and to us it's not, but to the experts, if this were to continue, it could have all kinds of implications for our oceans and rising sea levels and all that. It was a lunar event. It happened yesterday, and again, it was all to do with the Earth spinning a little bit faster than it normally does. So I personally missed that one. because I was out and about cycling and that kind of stuff. I wasn't here with you anyway. But anyway, the other big event taking place today, it being the 6th of August, is the 250th anniversary of Daniel O'Connell. We've talked about Daniel O'Connell on the programme quite a bit recently. Well, not quite a bit, a little bit, because those special edition stamps that were launched last week to commemorate this big event today. And you'll recall the stamps have Daniel O'Connell in the foreground, the GPO in the background, and then as some eagle-eyed enthusiasts points out, the chimney with the television aerial in the background. 100 years before television arrived in Ireland. But anyway, they came up with good reasoning for that. Anyway, getting back to today and the 250th anniversary of the Daniel O'Connell's birth. He was known, as you know, as the Liberator. He was a Kerry-born lawyer, and he was the first Catholic in modern history to sit in the House of Commons, and was one of the world's greatest champions of freedom and democracy. So it is not surprising that he has secured his place in Irish history, and there is a commemorative event taking place as we speak down in his native Kerry today. The Taoiseach Micheál Martin is down there. He'll be doing his thing, and there is a plaque unveiling, and there'll be some tree planting taking place as well. I wonder if they used treedeeds.com to plant their trees. If they're smart, they will have done just that. Treedeeds.com. Trees for every occasion, including the 250th anniversary of Daniel O'Connell, the great Liberator. So there you go. If you didn't get your Daniel O'Connell Liberator stamps, maybe you can get a Daniel O'Connell tree. Go to treedeeds.com. But I digress. Welcome along, friends. We're live here on Global Irish Radio, the Irish Diaspora Station. Wherever you go, take us with you. We bring you Irish radio programs from Ireland, Irish communities all around the world. It's what we do, friends. It's what we do. Now, lots happening on the programme today, and we have our song and story as well, and there's music if there's something you want to hear. Studio at gir.ie. We'll take a look at some of the top trending series news stories of the day as well, and looking back at some of the things that happened while we were out yesterday. Hundreds of Dublin supporters put their blue and white jerseys on to welcome the ladies, and they got a nice welcome home, although they were already at home. But anyway, there you go. And it was Tuesday, so it happened on a Tuesday rather than a Monday this week, because nothing ever happens, of course, in this country on a bank holiday. So lots of pictures of the Dublin girls after their victory in Croke Park on Sunday, and they hammered the Meath girls, and they brought home the bacon and they brought home the cup. That would be a good trivia question. What is the name of the cup for the ladies All-Ireland Gaelic football? I don't know it. I should have looked it up, but there you go. There's lots of pictures of the cup in the paper today, and they were nicely, nicely welcomed home. Lots of people came to welcome out the ladies, or to welcome home the ladies on their following their victory there in Croke Park on Sunday, and lots of lovely pictures, lots of smiling faces in the paper, lots of blue. And the Lord Mayor of Dublin, Ray McAdam, newly elected Lord Mayor of Dublin, he invited them along as well for a reception at wherever he lives, the Mansion House. Is that where he lives? Anyways, they had a nice time, and it's all nicely captured in our papers today. Lots of smiling faces, and why wouldn't they be smiling? Well done. It's their 7th All-Ireland, and they really demolished the girls from Meath. So that's that. That's the homecoming of the Dubs on yesterday. Looking at our front pages of the papers today, what have we got for you? Not a very nice story, I have to tell you. And it's a story. On Monday we were talking about the fact that there was so much in the papers at the weekend, documenting and looking back at some cases that had happened in Ireland last week. Cases involving violence against women, and there was a lot of high-profile cases that came to before the courts last week. And of course, there was the murder-suicide thing in Fermanagh as well. So a lot of uncomfortable reading, I suppose, the best way to put it. But a reality check for us. And who are we as a nation in terms of some of the brutal, the assaults on women and the most vulnerable in our society, kids as well. And it certainly makes you wonder. And the headline in today's Irish Daily Star: pretty girl punched and told go back to India. That is the headline of today's Irish. It's a racist hate story. And a 6-year-old girl was punched 5 times by a gang of racist teens. Her mom has told the Star. We're reading from the Irish Daily Star now. And Gardaí are investigating after the Irish-born girl was attacked. And this is the worst part. Right outside her own home, 6-year-old girl set upon by a gang of thugs. And they're only kids, teenagers. 8. The youngest was 8, and she was a girl. Can you imagine? What have we become as a country when we have 8-year-old girls attacking 6-year-old girls, immigrants and stuff like that? And they were told they used the F word, and they said dirty Indians go back to India. And it's not a very nice story. It's not. It doesn't make for good reading. And when you reread further in the story, it's a horrific attack on a 6-year-old girl, and it is racially motivated. And if we do incidentally send back all the Indians back to India, we'll have no priests and no doctors and no nurses, because all of these are legitimate. These are people that have lived. This young girl was born in Ireland, for God's sakes, and the family, they're contributing. Much like we as Irish people went abroad and we contributed to the countries we went to. These are working people. They're nurses and they're doctors, and as you say, they're not scrounging off the system or anything like that. But it's too bad that we have this kind of thing happening, and it's all the time. At the weekend, we told you the story of the taxi driver who was set upon by a couple of thugs or passengers, and they beat the living daylights out of him as well. Now he's afraid to go out and drive his taxi. So we're seeing a lot of these, there's a lot of hate towards migrants, and I don't think it's a good look for us as Irish people. Us being the country of 100,000 welcomes and known for our hospitality and all of that. And granted, we do have a migrant problem, but I think the two issues are very, very separate. There you go. No, it doesn't make for pretty reading. That's all I can tell you. That's today's Irish Daily Star. It's covered on a lot of the papers. We didn't get to talk about the weather yet. Don't worry, we will. We're Irish. Every conversation starts with chat about the weather. The weather is nice today. It's grey and it's overcast and it's staying dry for the moment. And the weather people tell us that July last month was the hottest ever. It wasn't the hottest. It was one of the hottest ever. That's according to the records from Met Air. The National Weather Service revealed that July 2025 was the 9th warmest July ever. So there you go. If you felt hot during July, you weren't imagining it. It was one of the hotter ones, and there was a lot of sunshine at the stations all around the country. Nice piece here about it, and they all reported sunshine. That rare thing that we don't get to see a whole lot of, but we're getting a lot. We're getting, thanks to global warming or whatever it is, we're seeing more of it these days, and our summers are nicer. And it's okay for us because we're not getting it too bad. Other parts of Europe, of course, they're getting oppressive heat and they're getting scorched, and you got the wildfires and all the rest of it. But yeah, it's a thing. It's happening. It's true. And the records, well, they're revealing that July, the 12th hottest on record, or the 9th hottest or whatever. It was hot. Let's put it that way. Now, if you see a lot of people dressed in pink in the very near future, well, you'll know what it is, because we're going to tell you. A host of Irish stars have stepped out to launch Breast Cancer Ireland's Very Pink Run. It's a fundraising event, and it takes place in Dublin, Cork, Kilkenny, I should say, between September the 6th and the 14th. So if you see a lot of people sporting their pink, it's all in aid of breast cancer. And we associate the colour, of course, with pink. But there's special events taking place this year in Ireland to raise money for the breast cancer charity. So well done, and kudos to all the stars that have signed up for it. And there's lots of them pictures in the papers today. They're launching that, and the event takes place, as we say, in September, between September the 6th and the 14th. So watch out for that. And if you want to sign up for it and become a part of it, you can do that as well. The registrations are open at verypinkrun.ie. Verypinkrun.ie, and there's all kinds of events coinciding with that. Now, what else have we got for you? Well, more good news, because if you're a racy or a horsey kind of person, or you're into horse racing or anything like that, one of Ireland's biggest equestrian events takes place at the RDS. It's opening today, yep, and it runs right through till Sunday. The event is a must for horse lovers across the country, as the cream of the international equestrian world descends on Dublin, and there are plenty of attractions to suit all ages, including the very popular best dressed competitions. These are a big thing now these days, the best dressed and the fancy hats and all of the rest of it, and they're including that as well at the Dublin Horse Show. That's been going on for a long time, and it's a great week of show jumping, and we used to watch it as kids, Eddie Macken jumping Four Faults or whatever it was on the telly. But it's all starting today, and it's going throughout the week. So many great events in Ireland throughout the summer. Last week we had the Galway races, of course. So many things that we talked about as well. And we're a great country. We love our horses, and there's a lot of equestrian type events, and this is the one that's taking place this week. So if you're into the horses, and there's so much more built around it as well. It's a social occasion, isn't it? It's not just about horses. Oh no, it's not. Now, the CSO has been revealing or giving insight into our births and deaths in the country. Glenties, County Donegal, has the lowest birth rate in 2022. This is the last year from which the statistics, from which they have statistics. It takes them a long time to add up the numbers. It's a good time. It's a good thing it's not America, because the statisticians would be fired by now for not having these numbers out already, or for giving wrong numbers and revising them, stuff like that. But anyway, Glentees in County Donegal has the lowest birth rate in 2022, and Tala in Dublin, the last place we want a high birth rate. But anyway, sorry, just kidding. But anyway, Tala in Dublin experienced the highest birth rate during the same period. This is what the new figures are showing. The Central Statistics Office have been releasing the numbers, and to say they're delving into, they're crunching the numbers, and they're coming up with different things, and they're drip feeding it to us. By the way, there was Mayo was featured in as well, wasn't it? Belmullet County Mayo had the lowest number of births in 2022. So the birth rate, which is a percentage, is the lowest in Glentees, but in Mayo, the actual number of births was the smallest, and the highest number of deaths was also in Belmullet at 11.5 per 1,000 people. So less people being born and more people dying in Belmullet, numerically speaking, than any other county in the country. You can read all about this at the Central Statistics Office, wherever they drip feed their numbers and stuff like that. But there you go. Thought you might like to know where the most people were being born and the most people were dying this Wednesday. We're live, friends. We are coming to you live from County Mayo, a little place called Glenisland, just outside Castlebar, County Mayo. A busty Mary Maid statue has been removed after it was deemed a man's hot dream of what a woman should look like. But apparently not everybody was impressed. So this statue of a busty Mary Maid was unveiled, and they had to take it down. Didn't go down well. A 14-ton sculpture of a Mary Maid with cascading hair, propping herself up on a rock with large uncovered breasts, has caused outrage among locals in Dragør Fort in Denmark. And the local priest there said that erecting a statue of a man's hot dream of what a woman should look like is unlikely to promote many women's acceptance of their own bodies. And so they had to take it down. A lot of upset. Speaking of statues and the like, and busty Mary Maids, I was in Newport yesterday. Took a lovely cycle back there. Newport is a beautiful little town. A town near the coast, obviously a coastal town, a fishing town, angling town. You'll tell that by the names of a lot of the businesses. A pub called the Angler's Rest, and beautiful bridge there. Lovely, lovely bridge. It's probably the synonymous with Newport. Lovely river. Great place to go fishing anyway. But we went there for a cycle. And it's a lovely, clean town. But I will say that it's very unspoiled. And of all the towns, I suppose, around the county, it's one that hasn't really changed over the years. It remains very much what it was. If you went to Newport 20, 30 years ago, it probably hasn't changed one iota since then. So it's a very nice little town. It's a quaint little town. It's a quiet little town. Everybody knows everybody. And we had a nice little visit there. And we took a break by the bridge where there's a lovely statue. You see where I'm going with this? It wasn't a Mary Maid with big you-know-whats. No, it was just a statue, and I decided to park my bicycle up against the statue and sit on a bench opposite the statue and take in just the beautiful, just what was going on in Newport on a Tuesday afternoon. And it was lovely and peaceful and quiet and, I'd say, quaint. And along comes the guy from the Tidy Towns. No wonder it's so tidy when they have the Tidy Towns guy out on the middle of the afternoon on Tuesday. But he was going around with his bag and his thing for picking up the garbage and stuff like that. And he came upon the bicycle. And of course, he couldn't see me because I was on the opposite bench. And he come along up towards the statue and seeing the bicycle. And then he saw me. Oh, he said, the bicycle, it must be yours. It's hardly hers anyway, is it? Meaning the statue. And I'm like, no, that's my bicycle. And how you doing and all the rest of it. Great, he said. I said, by the way, who is that lovely statue? And he's like, are you kidding me? And then I realised I should know who the statue is and said, well, no, I'm not from round here. I said, is it Marilyn Monroe? And he said, are you kidding me? And I said, well, I'm not from round here. He says, where are you from? And then I realised, if I tell him I'm from Glenisland, he said, what kind of an idiot are you that doesn't know who this statue is? So I decided I'd make up someplace. So I couldn't think of it on the fly where I was from. So I said, Turla, where Maureen's from, my sister. And I'm from Turla. He said, oh, okay. And he says, do you know such and such a one from Turla? And he named all these people from Turla. Sure, I didn't know anybody from Turla. So the moral of the story there is always don't lie. You just wade deeper into it. So I said, well, I've been away for a long, long time, so I don't know any of these people. And he's like, well, she's married to a farmer. So everybody's married to a farmer around here. But anyway, there you go. And then he went on to tell me that the statue was Grania Whale. And of course, I should have known that. I was just guessing with Marilyn Monroe. It's a lovely statue. Newport is a lovely town. Lots of nice things to do there. And the Tidy Towns Committee are very friendly. And they know everybody in Turla. Just remember that. So just tell them where you're from and you won't have any of these problems. And a lovely town. We had a nice time there. And that was yesterday. We're back with you, friends. By the way, I was reading in the paper today, US country star Dolly Parton has been she's been named a Guinness World Records icon for holding 11 record-breaking titles. So Dolly, we all love Dolly, don't we? Dolly Parton, she is wonderful, and she's got so many hits over the years. And what are they saying here in the paper today? The company, Guinness Book of Records, that is, they have honoured the Jolene singer. She's 79 now with an Icon certificate, and it's presented to her at her studios in Nashville, Tennessee, where she's recorded many, many songs, and she's written many songs. And anyway, the record titles include most consecutive decades with top 10 album entries on the Billboard Country Chart, most studio albums released by a female country singer, and most Grammy nominations for a female country artist. She also first country singer to be nominated for an EGOT, which is an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony, aka the Grand Slam of showbiz. So the Icon certificate has previously been awarded to the likes of Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Drake, and Paul McCartney and Elton John. So she's in good company there. Long overdue, I would say, that Icon certificate for Dolly, who is loved by many near and far. And I went along to see her at Ravinia up there on the outskirts of the northern suburbs of Chicago. They have Ravinia, which is a wonderful outdoor, well, it's kind of they have an auditorium and then they have a picnic area, and people bring these big massive picnics. They have Waterford glass and everything, and they have a great and wonderful time, and they listen to the music of whoever the artist is. And we went along to see Dolly Parton there. She did not allow screens there now, interestingly enough. She didn't want close-up pictures of herself, but she sounded great. They have the speakers. It's a big expansive area, as you say, and you have the auditorium area where you go in and you can sit and see her on stage, but the tickets for that are a little bit more expensive. And us being cheapskates, no, somebody gave us the tickets. We wouldn't be buying tickets. But anyway, we had the tickets, and we had a wonderful night. I'll never forget Dolly Parton singing wonderful tunes up there in, as we say, Ravinia, and seeing all the people as the sun was setting, having their big picnics, candlelit picnics, and the music of Dolly Parton. It was wonderful, and she had just released this song at the time. We'll play it for you now. Pure and Simple with Dolly Parton, as we congratulate her on being recognised by the Guinness Book of Records this Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Pure and Simple, Dolly Parton.
Every time I think about you, I get chills along my spine. It's a feeling I'm not used to. Can't believe you're really mine. Other loves so complicated, broken hearts and twisted minds. Then you came and I'm elated, so unlike the other times. It's so pure, it's almost sacred. Simply put, it feels divine. I just love you, pure and simple, pure and simple and sublime. Don't it seem we spent a lifetime looking for that perfect love? Like a dream, we finally found it, pure and simple, well, good for us. It's so pure, it's almost sacred. Simply put, it feels divine. I just love you, pure and simple, pure and simple, sweet and fine. I just love you,
Global Irish Radio is excited to partner with 950 WROL AM, the Spirit of Boston, to bring you portions of the Irish Hit Parade, providing the soundtrack to your weekend. Join Paul Sullivan on Saturdays 3 to 7 p.m. Irish time and famous Seamus Mulligan on Sundays 7 to 10 p.m. for a feast of Irish music. Streaming live from Boston right here on globalirishradio.com.
Yes, indeed, friends. Live right here. It's the soundtrack to your Irish weekend at the weekends, courtesy of Irish 950 WROL AM, Spirit of Boston. If you're just tuning our way, it's the Irish Daily Crack, little program we do each day around about this time, 3 to 4, when we're not in Newport telling lies to the Tidy Towns Committee. There you go. Grania Whale, Grace O'Malley, the great seafaring figure. Have to do a bit more research on her. It wasn't Marilyn Monroe anyway, and it wasn't a busty Mary Maid. But anyway, we had a nice time there. We hope you're well, friends. dailycrack.com to get all previous episodes if you miss it live. And it's repeated, of course, later on tonight. Speaking of tonight, coming up right after this programme, today is Wednesday. So that means a trip down under to Auckland, New Zealand, to check in with Oliver Lee for Oliver's programme. That's coming up right after this at 4 o'clock today. So stay tuned for that. After this nonsense is over, we have a great programme coming away, as I say, with Oliver. And then Wednesday night, we have David Marks from Glasgow with the 2 hours of the Scottish programme. Very best in country and Irish, peppered with trad. David Marks presiding over that between 6 to 8 tonight. And so you got, and Tom, of course. Tom, how could I forget Tom? Big Tom is back 8 o'clock Irish time, 2 o'clock local time with Tom's Irish Radio Show. Requests and dedications, it's live, so you can put your requests and dedications in to tom@gir.ie. Now, if you ever go up to somebody's house these days, your chances are that they have one of these fancy doorbells. Gone are the days when you had the knocker on the door or those ding-dong bells. You have the electronic ones now, and they're recording you, so be careful. And so many people have been busted for stealing packages and stuff like that from outside people's doors, because not only are they a doorbell, they're kind of also a security and surveillance system as well. And there's a company called Ring Video Doorbells. And basically they're a company that specialises in these high-tech doorbells. Well, exciting news for you. They are looking for the voice of their doorbells, the Irish voice of their doorbells. So they have a casting call to get the voice of the nation. They don't want any old voice; they want an Irish voice, and as you say, they're holding auditions to that point, and they'll host auditions across the country to find one Irish person who will record a set of audio messages called quick messages or quick replies. You know, the automated replies that would be available across the Ring Video Doorbells in Ireland early next year. So they're working on these new edition doorbells, and they'll have these standardized responses, and they're looking for the voice of those. So every door, you could have your voice on every doorbell in the country if you are successful. As we say, they're holding auditions. The auditions kicked off in Cork's Mahon Point Shopping Centre on August the 2nd and are set to continue until about August the 17th. And what can we tell you? Well, people in Ireland can audition to become the voice of the nation in a number of ways. You don't have to go along. You can go along in person to the actual locations where they're having the auditions in Cork, Galway and Dublin. But you can also do it online. Simply share a video of themselves saying a Ring doorbell quick reply. And the one they have here is, we can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, you can do that right now. So just send a video of yourself saying that to them online, or you can tag them in a post on your social media as well, and that might do the trick as well. But as you say, they're also doing auditions in Irish for people who want to use the Cúpla Focal, the Gaelic language, and they have another phrase which I could say a little bit, but I wouldn't get too far in it. Dír judge ní féidir linn an doras an oscailt faoi láthair. Yeah, basically the same thing in Irish. So they're looking for Irish and English. So you can have a choice how the doorbell responds to people knocking or ringing the doorbell. But yeah, the auditions are open right now. I thought it's interesting. A lot of people might like to have their voices. It's a wide open casting call across the nation, and you can do it, as we say, as Gaeilge in the native tongue, or you can do it in English, and accents that are particularly well liked apparently. And this is them. They're saying the Cork and Dublin ones, and Dublin people like a Dublin accent on their doorbell apparently. Well, screw them. It doesn't have to be Dublin, it can be anybody, but according to this little piece we're seeing here, the Cork and Dublin accents are quite popular in terms of people's expectations and what they might hear or how they might hear it when a doorbell is rang. But that doesn't preclude any county. or anybody from any place entering this casting call. I think it's a nice idea, and it's getting it's good publicity for them, and certainly putting them on the map. And so I never heard of them before this, and there you go. If you're interested, get in touch with them. Now, as you know, we are it's summertime, height of activity here in this country. Everything's going on, lots of things last week, and this week, of course, the Fleadh Cheoil na hÉireann is taking place in County Wexford. And thousands of fans gathered outside a pub to catch a glimpse of singer Ed Sheeran. He showed up, yes he did. There had been rumours, there had been speculation that Ed Sheeran, he's appeared before at the Fleadh, I believe. And as I say, massive crowds gathered outside a pub where they heard that he might be there, and turns out he showed up and he played a number of tunes there. We love Ed Sheeran on this programme, and we love Ed Sheeran in Ireland. Very popular, the red-haired lad. And he says, his granny was from that part of the world. His granny was called Annie Marie Sheeran, also known as Nancy, and she died back in 2023. She was from Wexford, and Ed Sheeran used to visit, like a lot of English kids would come over to visit their granny in the summers. And he previously opened up about spending time in the sunny southeast. And in a podcast interview with somebody recently, he confirmed that despite being born in England, he identifies as Irish. Oh, well, that's why we like him. He's one of us. He's got the red hair, he's down to earth, and he comes over and he hangs out with the locals. I thought it was a lovely thing to do, and he came on stage. There was thousands and thousands of people there hoping to catch a glimpse of him. He picked up the guitar and they all sang songs, and they had a great time. And he said, interestingly enough, Ed Sheeran says he classes his culture as Irish, and that's what he grew up with. So he's as Irish as the rest of us, and he loves Ireland. He identifies as Irish. And you know what I thought was really nice as well, not only did he sing in the pub inside where it was a full house, but he was conscious of the fact there was a lot of fans outside as well that couldn't get to see him, so he took the guitar outside and he sang a few songs outside as well. So there you go, Ed Sheeran going down really well at the Fleadh Cheoil na hÉireann, taking place all this week in Wexford. And as I say, Ed Sheeran not forgetting his roots, not at all. And he was in great singing form, and the crack, lots of pictures. You've probably seen it on social media this week or yesterday, today. Lots of pictures of Ed singing in the pub in Wexford. People having a great time. Interestingly enough, there's another piece in the papers today. The secret to global success is going back to school, according to Ed Sheeran. And he's revealed his chart-topping back catalogue, and he's got a lot of hit songs. We hear them all the time in the car in America and over here as well. But he says he's revealed his chart-topping back catalogue is all down to sticking to strict school hours, forcing himself to write songs. So what he does is, Monday to Friday, it's school hours for him, 9 to 3. He literally goes to school from the hours of 9 to 3. And I think that being creative has a lot to do with just doing it and just being in a room and starting something rather than waiting for inspiration to hit you. So he doesn't wait for songwriters will differ on this and artists, but his style of doing it, or his way of doing it, is to force himself to write the song, and he doesn't wait for the inspiration to come. He puts himself in a room, in a situation where he forces himself to be inspired, if you will. And what he does is essentially he puts himself in a room like he's going back to school between the hours of 9 to 3, and that is, according to him, the secret to his global success. Ed Sheeran, and here's a song all about his Irish granny.
She played the fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands, and baby, I just wanna dance. I met her on Grafton Street, right outside of the bar. She shared a cigarette with me while her brother played the guitar. She asked me, what does it mean, the Gaelic ink on your arm? Said it was one of my friend's songs, do you want to drink on? She took Jamie as a chaser, Jack for the fun. She got Arthur on the table with Johnny riding a shotgun. Chatted some more, one more drink at the bar, then put Van on the jukebox, got up to dance. You know she played her fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands, and baby, I just wanna dance with my pretty little Galway girl. You're my pretty little Galway girl. You know she beat me at darts, and then she beat me at pool, and then she kissed me like there was nobody else in the room. As last orders were called was when she stood on the stool, after dancing to Kaylee, singing to trad tunes. I never heard Carrick Fergus ever sung so sweet. A cappella in the bar, using her feet for a beat. Oh, I could have that voice playing on repeat for a week. And in this packed out room, swear she was singing to me. You know she played her fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands, and baby, I just wanna dance. My pretty little Galway it's closing time. I was holding her hand was holding mine. Our coats both smell of smoke, whiskey and wine, as we fill up her lungs with the cold air of the night. I walked her home, then she took me inside to finish some Doritos and another bottle of wine. I swear I'm gonna put you in a song that I write about a Galway girl and a perfect night. She played the fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just wanna dance, my pretty little Galway girl. My, 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 my Galway girl. My, 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 my Galway girl. My, 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 my Galway girl. Hey!
All you Global Irish Radio listeners out there, wherever you may be. It's myself, Finbar, here in beautiful northern Colorado, inviting you along to the Reigal Teigal Celtic Folk Show, streaming here live every Monday and Friday evening at 10 p.m. Irish time, where you're guaranteed to hear some rare old recordings from the old country and beyond. And it's all here on globalirishradio.com, the home of the Reigal Teigal. Listen to the Reigal Teigal on Global Irish Radio.
Yes, friends, Finbar will have another exciting Reigal Teigal coming your way this Friday at 7 here on Global Irish Radio. Not to be missed, old rare recordings. We thank Finbar for all of the good music. Friends, we're live here on Global Irish Radio as we take a look at some of the top trending serious news stories of the day this Wednesday. And a 33-year-old Irish woman has been found dead on board a boat which was docked at a yacht club in Long Island in New York. It's a breaking story this afternoon. A man found Martha Nolan O'Slartera, who lived in Manhattan, unconscious on the boat at Montauk Yacht Club at 12 a.m. local time yesterday. She was later pronounced dead at the scene by emergency services. And that's an area where there'll be a lot of Irish people out there. But as you say, Irish designer, suspicious circumstances, and that is currently under investigation. The 250 we talked about Daniel O'Connell at the top of the programme. The 250th anniversary of the birth of Daniel O'Connell, the Liberator, has been marked by a state-led commemoration at his ancestral home in Derrynane House in County Kerry, and Taoiseach Micheál Martin was at the event. And he said the event was a vital act of remembrance, which not only reminded people of the immense contributions of the Liberator to Irish democracy and civil rights, but also to the power of community past and present. O'Connell's achievements in forcing the British government to concede Catholic emancipation in 1829 earned him the title The Liberator. So there you go. On this, the 250th anniversary of his birth, an event commemorating his life and contributions to Ireland. Now, the Irish branch of the charity, which the kidnapped Irish woman Gina Herty works with in Haiti, has described her as a tough and very resilient person. Gina Herty, as you know, was kidnapped by some gangs out there in Haiti. She is a Westport native here from County Mayo here. She's been out there for about 32 years doing great work, and sadly was abducted along with several others and one child from an orphanage in Haiti over the weekend. The Westport native oversees an orphanage in the area of Kinsoff, about 10 kilometres southeast of the capital Port-au-Prince. And it's a difficult situation because of the state, I suppose the government out there is not very... It's a country that's, politically it's not very stable, is it? And typically in a situation like this, the Irish government would send a diplomatic team and maybe a defence forces team out there to work with locals. But given the, I suppose, oftentimes corrupt nature of the government itself, it's a difficult one. So that's the latest. No news on Gina Herty, who, as I say, was abducted. But Irish officials and our authorities saying that no stone has been left unturned in the effort to get her freed. The Revenue Commissioners, they've been busy while you were out enjoying the bank holiday weekend. The Revenue Commissioners were busy writing letters And as they always say, don't ignore the letter if you get one of these letters. They ran that campaign one time. Don't ignore the letter. But anyway, the Revenue Commissioners has written to almost 70,000 pensioners over issues relating to incorrect tax payments. The retirees are among around 260,000 taxpayers who may have overpaid or more importantly, as far as they're concerned, underpaid tax for the year 2022. I don't think they'd be writing if they overpaid. I think most of these people are getting letters saying they underpaid it, knowing the Revenue Commissioners, but I could be wrong. Revenue said that the group includes about 68,000 people aged over 65, but it insisted it has not launched a campaign specifically aimed at pensioners. So there you go. Sent to pensioners, but not directly aimed at pensioners. But anyway, there you go. They speaking of leaving no stone unturned, the Revenue Commissioners leave no stone unturned when it comes to going after you for your hard-earned money. And now they're going after the old folks of the country, in addition to other people too as well. But there you go. Those, friends, are some of the stories that are getting traction, making the news this Wednesday here in Ireland. Here is the Waterboys. A Man Is in Love.
Man is in love. How do I know? He came and walked with me, and he told me so. In a song he sang, and then I knew a man is in love with you. A man is in love. How did I hear? I heard him talk too much. Whenever you're near, he whispered your name. When his eyes were closed, a man is in love, and he knows. Is in love. How did I guess? I figured it out while he was watching you dress. He'd give you his all if you but agree. A man is in love, and he's me.
To Sean G on Global Irish Radio.
Good deeds are great things, and a single good deed can grow into a forest of kindness. At treedeeds.com, you can dedicate a tree in someone's honour and make a lasting impact on the planet. Each tree is deeded and comes with a personalised certificate, perfect for birthdays, holidays, memorials, or just because. Celebrate life, give back to nature, and leave a legacy that grows. Visit treedeeds.com today That's treedeeds.com. Rooted in Ireland, gifted worldwide. When Irish Eyes Are Smiling. It's a song which symbolises the essence of Irishness, and strangely was written in 1912 by three Americans in the United States. The words were composed by Chauncey Olcott, who was born in 1858 in Buffalo, New York. Chauncey's mother, Margaret Doyle, came from Killalee, a village about 20 miles from Cork City. He was aided by George Graff Jr. These two Americans gave a romanticised view of Ireland. The music was written by classically trained pianist and composer Ernest R. Ball. Chauncey Olcott possessed a beautiful singing voice suitable for singing Irish ballads, and he had a great stage presence. Starting at a young age, he sang in a variety of shows in which Irish songs were featured. He moved to London in 1890 to have his voice trained, and while living there, he performed in operas. 4 years later, he returned to New York to a successful Broadway career. He appeared and sung in 8 Irish stage productions that included Mavnareen in 1892 and The Isle of Dreams in 1913. Chauncey wrote many Irish songs, mostly in collaboration with other composers. When Irish Eyes Are Smiling was composed for the musical The Isle of Dreams. This show opened in Broadway in 1913, with Chauncey taking the leading role. Even though it closed after only a month, Chauncey's rendition of the song greatly enchanted the audience, and the song seemed to have a life of its own without the stage show. Its words and melody made people happy, and it became Chauncey's signature tune. By popular demand, he continued singing it for the rest of his life. Chauncey enjoyed a successful 30-year stage career. He died in Monte Carlo in 1932. During the First World War, John McCormick recorded When Irish Eyes Are Smiling, and this light-hearted song became possibly the most beloved song about the Irish in the United States. In the beginning of the 20th century, the Irish in the United States were beginning to establish themselves as a proud ethnic group, and this song made them feel good about themselves. It has been used as incidental background music to approximately 30 movies. Over 200 artists have recorded the song, among them Bing Crosby, Connie Francis, Foster and Allen, the Irish Tenors and Daniel O'Donnell. Along with Danny Boy and Molly Malone, it is viewed as a classic Irish song and is sung repeatedly on St. Patrick's Day. On the feast of the patron saint of Ireland, this uplifting song, which has been called the unofficial anthem of the Irish diaspora, is sung with great pride wherever in the world there are Irish people. And the chorus starts out with these lilting words: When Irish eyes are smiling, sure 'tis like a morn in spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing.
There's a tear in your eye, and I'm wondering why, for it never should be there at all. With such power in your smile, should a stone you'd beguile, so that never a teardrop should fall. With your sweet lilting laughter, like some fairy song, and your eyes twinkling bright as can be, you should laugh all the while, and all other times smile, and I'll smile a smile for me. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure it's like a morning spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. And when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they'd steal your heart away. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure it's like a morning spring. they'd steal your heart away.
She was tastefully dressed.
Hello, all you Global Irish Radio listeners out there, wherever you may be. It's myself, Finbar, here in beautiful northern Colorado, inviting you along to the Reichel Teigel Celtic Folk Show, streaming here live every Monday and Friday evening at 10 p.m. Irish time, where you're guaranteed to hear some rare old recordings from the old country and beyond. And it's all here on globalirishradio.com, the home of the Reichel Teigel.
Listen to the Reichel Teigel on Global Irish Radio.
Yes, indeed, friends, it's the musical soundings of Celtic Thunder, bringing us ever closer to the finishing line this Wednesday. Before that, it was When Irish Eyes Are Smiling. Dermot O'Brien on vocals, and the story behind the song there as well. It's the Irish Daily Crack with each day between 3 to 4. Stay tuned, because Oliver Lee's coming up from Auckland, New Zealand. Great hour of music, chit-chat, news and sports. Lots of sports as well. Oliver's very good on the sports. Oliver's a Galway man that's been living down in Auckland, New Zealand for many, many years. So looking forward to that coming up at 4 o'clock today. And just before we finish up, I see that Michael D. Higgins had a very special guest at Oris on Uachtaráin this morning. Yes, the Princess Royal, Princess Anne, one that you don't see very often, and just as well, I shouldn't say that. She's a face that only a mother could love. And there's a picture up of the three of them. Sabina, the president's wife, the president, and Princess Anne. She makes him look good, even though she's dressed in green, and the president told her she deserved to serve or to sign the guest book, and so she did. There you go, that's Princess Anne visiting our president Michael D. Higgins before he's out the door in November, and she signed the book, all of that stuff, and it was a lovely occasion. Our quote of the day today before we say fare thee well. Not sure who said it, or if it comes from anybody famous or anything like that. I heard it from a guy called Colm, who used to come into the pub in Chicago, and I thought it was very good advice, so we'll share with you as our quote of the day today on the programme. And Colm used to always and regularly tell us, advice is best sought. Keep that in mind, friends. How many times has somebody come up to you and said, if you want my advice, this, that and whatever? But anyway, they say that advice is best sought. We'll attribute that one to Colm. Forget his last name. Fergus will be able to tell me. But a regular at the Curragh there in Chicago. It's good advice. It's a good one. Keep it in mind. Make one of that what you will, friends. Thank you so much, though, for your company since 3 this afternoon. And all going well, we should be back with you again tomorrow. globalirishradio.com or GIR.ie. We are the Irish Diaspora Station, bringing Irish radio programs from Ireland, Irish communities all around the world. Tom in Chicago checked in with us. And how are you, Tom? Tom is up to his knees in shrubs. He is doing a bit of gardening today and getting the garden ready. 'Tis the season, isn't it? But he will be back with you live tonight, so if you have any requests, Tom at GIR.ie. And as we say, Oliver's coming up next. Then it's to Glasgow later on tonight for the David Marks programme, and check out a complete schedule at globalirishradio.com or GIR.ie. As always, thanks to Margaret helping out in the background. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you tomorrow at 3. Here's the High Kings, Dirty Old Town.
around the clock and around the world. You're listening to globalirishradio.com.
Hello there, my name is Sean G and I'm the founder of Global Irish Radio. Global Irish Radio is a non-profit, zero-revenue station, fully volunteer-run, dedicated to promoting Irish music around the world. Every track you hear is properly licensed to support the musicians who make it all possible. But as the station grows, so too do the licensing costs, and we rely entirely on listener support to cover them.